Are we live? And we are live. Assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim friends. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I'm doing this one for you. All my Muslim subscribers, people are people, my Muslim friends that I have that I grew up with in New York, also in New Jersey. This one is for you. Under pressure that's on you and the oppression that's led on you and your families for generations. As you see on the screen, folks, it is what it is. It is what it says, and it is what it is. As you see on the screen, folks. Seriously. Let's talk about it. Come on and let's talk about it. Seriously. Insane. Ludicrous. Unbelievable. In a time like this, where people are moving forward with better understanding, now you see someone with freedom of speech on a blog going to prison for 45 years. Let that sink in, folks. Come on in the chat room. Give me a thumbs up. Wipe your feet at the door. Show your love. Spread your love. Chronic pain, the inner demon coming to you today. Holiday weekend. So let's talk about it. Let's be about it. 45 years. 45 years. For using social media to talk about the rhetoric that goes on in your country. All the things about politics. They're no nonsense. The hypocritical behavior. Did I say that? Yes. The hypocritical behavior in the Muslim community. It's absurd. The way how you condemn your women. It's a new time. It's a new day. DuBai, a place where tourists go constantly. People need to start demonstrating, marching for this lady so they could set her free for speaking her mind about corruption and all of that stuff that goes on within the Saudi government. She was just speaking her mind. Blogging. Just blogging about what's going on that she's not comfortable with. Just freedom of speech. Blogging about something that you're not comfortable with. And here comes the master wanting to lock you up in jail. Blogging. Murderers get less time than she did. Rapists get less time than she did. People that commit espionage has got less time than she did. People that commit atrocious crimes against humanity get less time than she did. But yet still, the Middle East can overcome the stigma on women and set them free. Set them free. Liberate them from the oppression. From the oppression. They need to be liberated. Seriously. From that oppression. 45 years to speak about your government, their corruption. 45 years because your government said you damage your kingdom by speaking against them and their belief and also their rhetoric that's full of hypocrisy. And I'll get to that. Dubai, the United Emirates, a lot of tourists, a lot of Muslim, male, female, and I see women from other countries, just like America, went to Dubai and did dubious things with a lot of these Muslim men of status in the Muslim community, deep pockets, flown these women in from America, defecating on these women, spitting on them, of course, having intercourse and all that type of stuff in every which way with them, paying them substantial amount of money for all of that pleasure out in the desert. Listen to what I'm saying. These Muslim men, they're flying in women from different countries to do these atrocious pleasuring on them. These demonic pleasuring on them. But if the Muslim woman uses social media to speak about their politics and their no-nonsense rhetoric in their country, she gets 45 years in prison. That's insane. That's insane. Don't forget the Cash App, $ Raymond Nugent. Hit me up. Don't be afraid. I appreciate you in advance. $ Raymond Nugent. But that's insane. 45 years just to blog on your computer and speak about no-nonsense behaviors in your country, in your community. Your government is going to use that against you and say you damaged the kingdom. Now, this is coming from Dubai, the United Emirates, that attracts so much tourists. Dubai, where all these rich Arabs flown these women in from America and all parts of Europe around, bring them into Dubai, taking them out into the desert and doing the devil's work to them in every which way, pleasuring themselves, paying them lucratively large sums of money to do these things. But then when it comes on to your woman from your origin, even if she used social media, she's condemned and you put her in prison. So my question to you, my Muslim brothers and sisters, my Muslim brothers out there in the Emirates and in Dubai, how much do you like or do you love your Muslim woman? to treat them that way. You could stone them to death, give them the worst punishment on this earth. But what about the men that are committing these other sins against Allah? I don't see them getting punished. Going out in the desert doing all these these things to all these women that they've flown in, paid a lot of money, paid women in America, Canada, Europe, all over the place to fly in to Europe, taking them out in the desert, doing all these things to them. How you don't condemn those women because you use and abuse them and pay for them? But your origin woman, your Arab woman, can't even look at social media and speak her mind. You condemn her from that. Before you condemn them from going to school and learning how to read and gaining certain knowledge. That means you're from the get-go. It's all about mind controlling these ladies, feed them your rhetoric, your narratives, and just let them go on and that. That's absurd. That is ludicrous, man. Sad. Very sad. Very sad. So when I see a woman like this, and before her, there was another woman that got 35 years for speaking out. And now her getting 45 years for accessing the media and speaking out against what's wrong in her country. 45 years. Folks, the worst and the type of worst of killers you could think of get less time than that, because life in prison is like between 20 to 25 years in America. That's life in prison. This woman got 45 years. That's double the time, pretty much, in a prison in a country, just for using social media and using her fingers just to click on the computer. 45 years in prison. That's not cybercrime. That's not hacking into a system. That's just somebody speaking their mind, their belief, what's going on in their country. They speak on the behalf of the love of their country, and they wound up getting 45 years in prison. In my opinion, the entire Saudi Arabia needs to be in irate right now. Seriously. Gathering, marching, standing up for this lady that stood up for you all against your government. Do what's right. This lady stood up for you guys and got 45 years in prison for that, because they claim she damaged the kingdom, which I think that's ludicrous. It's just exposing the underneath surface of the corruption that goes on in Dubai. And she got 45 years. So now it's the time for you guys, her Muslim sisters and Muslim brothers, to stand up for her. March. Demonstrate for her, because she stood up for you guys. She took 45 years for you guys. That's what she's going to have to do. I don't know about the time in the Saudi prison. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure it's worse than what goes on in America. 45 years. So now it's time for the country and the people to stand up behind her and make sure she's set free. Free. Oh yeah. Make sure she walk free. Don't stop demonstrating, picketing at all your government entities. Don't be afraid to go out there, demonstrate, show your solidarity, represent your country, represent your belief, represent what you stand for. Because if a woman is going to get 45 years just to blog about a government system, that's just speaking your opinion. That's like me having my opinion, and I'm getting 45 years for my opinion. That's insane. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, health is my passion over you. That's insane. That is insane. 45 years for speaking my opinion. 45 years for speaking my opinion about the government system. And then we're going to say, hey, let's go to Dubai. Come to Dubai. Come to the Emirates. But what about the oppression that you have in the Emirates on these ladies that can't speak for themselves? It's lately these ladies are going to school to educate themselves. It's lately that they're allowed to educate themselves. And now the world have social media. They can't speak about what's going on. They can't speak about their belief system. They can't speak about what's wrong. Because, folks, like I said before, the Arab men in Dubai, they're flying in women from all these countries to do all these atrocious things to them. You have a lot of women on IG, on Instagram, that flown into Dubai, that went into Dubai to have all these rich princes and their friends defecate on them, doing the worst on them, and paying them for it. Okay? Paying them for it. Now, this is a woman that you're doing this to, and you're paying her for it. But because she's from a different origin, you flow her in and you pay her so you don't persecute her. But a woman from your country, from your own origin, an Arab woman, she can't even speak about what's going on in politics in her country. You're giving her 45 years for that? After you're doing what to other nationalities as a woman of origins out in the desert? Are you serious with this hypocrisy? This is not religion. This is hypocrisy. That's what you call this. This is not about religion, the way you persecute these women in your country. It's about hypocrisy. Let's be clear. Because the men get to indulge in all these demonic things. Because I've seen it. It happens out in Dubai when they're flowing all these prostitutes pretty much in for hundreds and thousands of dollars. Defecating on them. Urinating on them. All these type of sexual behaviors with them. But then you're going to wind up and go right back into the coalition. And then you're going to oppress and demonize your woman of origin that bring forth your kids. How dare she use the internet? Is she going to stone her to death? If she's divorced from her husband, she can't find another man, because if she do, he's stone her to death. In the Arab world, we're just like at the tip of the iceberg. People are running to Dubai, stuff like that. But look beneath the cloth outside of Dubai where they have the small... In Dubai, you see the big lights, bright lights and everything. You know, places that they build artificial lands out in the ocean, you know, out in the desert. But look right next to Dubai. It's a tin city, a ghetto that they don't even recognize. Right next to what they try to sell us to come there as tourists is a serious ghetto that they don't even look on. They don't even care about. They look down upon those people. They're beneath them. And they're Arabs. Some of them are Africans from Africa that came in and, they're down on their luck and trying to build themselves up. So when you go into the Emirates, the Saudi Emirates, the United Emirates, and you see how you get wine and dine and yacht around the country and drinking the most expensive champagne, and you're in the Emirates, and it's the most beautiful thing in the world. It is. When you look at it, the sculpture, the landscape is beautiful. But beyond the landscape, the cruelty, the hypocrisy is devastating, atrocious, sad, wicked. When are you going to give a blogger 45 years in prison just to blog her opinion about how she feels about the government, the system, how corrupt they are? You're going to say she damaged the kingdom by speaking the truth? She damaged the kingdom. She damaged the kingdom by speaking the truth? And for that, you gave her 45 years in prison? 10 years more than the previous lady, pretty much. Because the last lady that went against the Emirates, the Saudi woman, I think she got like 35 years a few years ago. Now this woman pop up and went on and speak in solidarity about the country. Spoke because a lot of us believe in democracy around this world. Social media is at our fingertips. It's made available for us to speak our mind, but not to be prosecuted if you're just speaking your mind, and you're not harming anyone. How could she speak about corruption? And because she's speaking about corruption, she gets 45 years. Now you have to look at the length of the time, 45 years, to speaking about your government and their corruption in Saudi Arabia and Dubai. How much do you respect your woman, apart from just bearing kids, and listening to you just talking down to them like they don't matter? Women matter in this world. They bring forth us, kids. They brought forth me in this earth. A woman brought me in this earth. Always respect them. Honor them. Don't chastise them like you guys do in Dubai. Stone them. Hang them. Prosecute them. Giving them a lengthy sentence. Silence them somewhere in some dark hole, in some dark prison system. That's absurd. This is ludicrous. Nonsense. So people in Dubai, people in the Saudi Emirates, rise to the occasion. Demonstrate for this lady. These ladies. Demonstrate for these two ladies. Make sure that they are free. Free from the bondage that they lay upon them. Free from the oppression that they lay upon them. It's all about freedom of speech. As long as you don't harm no one, you're speaking about, hey, listen, this is what I think about what's not going on right in the government system. That's why you have more than one party. You can speak your mind. It's just like me saying in America, hey, listen, I don't like Donald Trump because he's affiliated with certain people, and I'm going to vote for the next party. What's wrong with that? I don't like Trump because Trump, linked with certain people in Russia. I think he might be in certain things with people in Russia. I'm not getting persecuted for that in America. So why should a woman around the world or any part of the world get 45 years in prison to talk about the atrociousness, the atrocity atrocity, the corruption that goes on in their government. And because all of that, 45 years in prison? You kidding me? In a civilized time like now, 2020, 2020, 22, 2020, 22, are you kidding me? Still? That type of oppression? Are you kidding me? Very sad. But I hope you guys march and demonstrate in Saudi of solidarity of these two women and make sure they're set free from these lengthy prison term that was brought upon them from the Saudi government that claimed that they exposed and damaged the kingdom. Because within the kingdom, beneath the surface, you guys are doing so much demonic things. And because people are exposing you, you're giving them a lengthy prison sentence to silence them. How dare you? How dare you? But I wish these two ladies nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. But how dare you as a government trying to silence people just to speak about what's going on, what's wrong in your country? How dare you? How dare you going to control my mouth and what I say? I'm not disrespecting. I'm speaking respectfully. But because you're full of what? Hate, evil, corruption, all that stuff, you persecute me. How dare you? How dare you? Now, this lady, I'm sure she's a mother, probably a mother. 45 years in prison for your opinion? 45 years in prison for my opinion? What I think about the government? Dubai. People are flying into Dubai and looking at the glory. But folks, look beneath the glory. The desert, the sand, the artificial beach. Look at their politics. Look how they behave and treat their women. Because Dubai is in Saudi Arabia, folks. The Emirates. That's Saudi Arabia. Okay? As long as you know your geography, that's all Saudi Arabia. No matter how fancy it sounds. So whenever they're treating a woman like this in Saudi Arabia, it's still Dubai. Because it's right there, the Emirates. They're all connected under the same regime. The same regime and the same government system. So when folks like us go to Dubai and try to enjoy and live and yada, 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 people are getting persecuted there for nothing. Just speaking their mind. So when we're there enjoying ourselves as tourists and think it's all nice and good and everything, and they're getting the tourist dollars and they advertise all this gloriousness about Dubai and the Emirates, what about the people who get treated so bad because of their opinion? That's insane. I've seen where a woman got stoned in Saudi Arabia because her and her husband divorced and she found somebody else. She got stoned to death. I've seen so many different things, so many cruel things happen in these places to women, and you don't have much people speaking about it because they're afraid. Afraid of what? Wrong is wrong. Don't be afraid to speak up. Wrong is wrong. And for this woman to get 45 years just to speaking on the media about our government and corruption, and you see what our government says? The reason why they gave her 45 years because she damaged the kingdom. Damaged the kingdom because she spilled the tea on the kingdom. The nonsense on the kingdom. The hypocrisy on the kingdom. So because of that, you buried her alive. Folks, This is what you call buried alive. Okay? They buried her alive. You understand me? Silencer. You see what I'm saying? Silencer. And she's not the first, or the second, or the third. This is how they operate. This is how they operate. That's what you have to say to yourself when you're going to Dubai and you're going to enjoy and you're going to, try to be fancy and dandy. But they treat foreigners so much different than their own people. They demonize their own people and treat foreigners on a pedestal, especially foreign women. These Muslim guys don't know how to act around foreign women. They act like idiots. Open up their bank accounts in Dubai, flying these women in, buying them all these outrageous things, paying them all these outrageous amount of money, astronomical amount of money, to defecate on them, to urinate on them, to do the R. Kelly on them. Yeah, women are paying thousands of dollars that flown into Dubai to get the R. Kelly done on them. Defecation, urination, all that type of stuff. But how dare a woman from their country to even blog on social media? She's condemned from that. While you're flying a woman to your country to do what? Look at the hypocrisy. Shame on you. Shame on you. I always want to go to Dubai. I'll still go there because, I want to go to Dubai. But the misconception of Dubai, Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, trust me, people need to do their research before they go to these places. See how they treat their own kind. See how they respect their own kind, their own people. Because the way they respect and treat their own people give you an incentive of how they are. At least it gives you an inclination of how they are. Because you have women in Saudi Arabia doing long sentences just for saying hi to another man. They stone them to death. Just for even having a conversation with another man, just another male partner, another male, so a different sex. They get stoned to death because of what? Pride, ego, nonsense belief. In 2022, seeing a woman get 45 years in Saudi Arabia just to speak her mind in the media, it's ludicrous. I know a few years back I saw a lady got 45 years. But I didn't think in 2022 I was going to see where someone get 45 years just to using social media and speaking their mind about politics and the rhetoric and the hypocrisy that goes on in Saudi Arabia. That's called buried alive. The Emirates, of course. Let's go to the Emirates. Big plane ticket. It's about $7,000, maybe more. Fly Emirates, because I did it before, so I know. Fly Emirates, you know what I mean? I've done it before, you know what I mean? Big plane ticket. Go to Dubai, go to Saudi Arabia, tour the Emirates, It's remarkable, the view. But beyond that view, how they treat their people, it's another thing. Their belief system. I do understand religion, but that doesn't mean you should persecute and torture your own people. That doesn't mean that. For stupidness. 45 years for using the internet? Like I said before, it's like me going on the internet and saying, hey, listen, for example, Joe Biden had a speech, and I might go on the internet and say, I don't like what Joe Biden just said, that's just not going to work for, what I believe in and whatever. 45 years for your opinion? That is ludicrous. Insane. That's insane. That's insane. Let me know what you think, folks. Comment, subscribe to the machine. Let me know what you think about this type of sentence. And because the reason why I'm talking about this sentence and how they look at us Westerners when you go into the eastern part of the world, they look at us Westerners and punish Westerners and others, and also theirs, crucially. It's just like looking at the case with this basketball player up in Russia, Brittany Reiner, 9 years for some type of THC oil just to rub on your body for aches and pains. 9 years. A woman, another woman. So look how they punish women around this world. Crucial. 9 years. Just for having a little vial in your bag. Didn't kill nobody. Just remember I said before, rapists get less time. Child molesters get less time. Murderers get less time. Thieves get less time. Armed robbers get less time. Who else? You name it. Because when you're sentenced to life in prison, that's 25 years. Or 20 years. Then you're off for parole. This lady have to be sitting down for 45 years. And in these Saudi prisons, I don't think they give paroles like we give in America. So you do day by day, day to day in, day out. Blood in, blood out. Did you hear that? 45 years. Just to use the internet. Speak about your government. DuBai, United Emirates. This is how they treat their women of origin. So folks, for all these young ladies that's going there to Dubai, having these things done to them, yes, I understand you get paid a lucrative amount of money, but also be mindful that these men, they could take your life as well, because they have no regards for woman's life. They have no regards for human, really. They treat human like doormats or people without feelings and family and emotions. Because when I look at this case, I just see nothing but insanity. These people have to be insane to block down this type of judgment on this lady. 45 years. That's insane. Insane. 45 years. Just for using social media. Insane. What do you think? Comment down below, folks. Let me know. Leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up so I can keep these videos in the algorithm. That's very important. Give me a thumbs up. Like the video. Subscribe to the machine. Don't forget that. And the Cash App, $ Raymond Nugents. Holler back at me. Each one teach one. Before I go, I always say, who feels it, knows it. Peace.